Buying a home, it's likely the most money you will ever spend at one time. Make sure you have a real estate team you can trust on your side, helping you every step of the way. Welcome back to the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show with one of the most trusted realtors in Windsor, Essex, Dan Gemus.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Joyce Blackmere in studio with me today. And before we get to our next guest, a reminder, if you are planning on heading out to the Windsor Express game, the game was originally scheduled for 2 o'clock today. It's been pushed to 4 p.m. tip-off time, okay? 4 p.m. due to equipment mechanical failure. So, again, the game does not start at 2 o'clock today for the Windsor Express. It's starting at 4 p.m. Doors open at 3 o'clock. Okay, so thank you all, and enjoy the game today, the final game of the season today. So there you go, 4 p.m. tip-off time, not 2 o'clock. 4 p.m., doors open at 3 o'clock, okay? So our next guest, Patrice Surette from Goldmar Property Management. And again, Patrice, hi, Patrice, how are you?
Good, how are you guys?
Well, good. Fantastic. We're a bit tired. Yep. You were with us, and your team was with us at Country at Heart last night as well. You guys had a good time?
Yes. Good time. Yep. Very nice.
Awesome. We appreciate you guys supporting every year, and I know you guys all like to party, so it's great to have you guys with us last night. And you guys won some prizes too, I think.
We did. I think our whole table won something.
Oh, really?
Perfect.
Pretty impressive stats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's the best.
Yeah,
I love
great.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. So, what's happening in the property management world right now?
Well, lots happening. Busy time as far as rentals. Students that are ending their time in residence, moving out into their first apartments. So we're getting a lot of movement. Just in general, a lot of new students trying to plan for next year and coming in for May. So very busy out there. And the biggest thing I just wanted to kind of touch base today was just with landlords is just like in real estate, right, is it's about pricing, right? So when you put the ad on, we all try and achieve the highest rents we can for people.
Yes.
But realistically, you do more harm by overpricing it, right? So we post the ad, the first impression, the first time it's out there for people to see. If it's overpriced, they're dismissing it, right? So we have to be very careful that we're not, getting what the market will bear is basically what we try, right? So we try to put it as high as we can, but if no one comes to see it, obviously, there's a problem. So we have to, what we're trying to really educate landlords on too is being responsive really quick. So in a week, if we say we have had, hundreds of people click on this ad and nobody's booked a showing, obviously there's a problem, right? So, and then just being responsive to that and making adjustments as we need to. Because the whole idea is we got to get people in the door, right? So.
Now, when listing rental properties, it can be difficult sometimes because you'll have tenants that might not, keep the place in as tip-top shape as you would if you were selling it or owned it, right?
Yeah.
How do you kind of get past those challenges?
So, luckily, we often, most of the time, have photos from when it looks its best, right? So either when they first buy it and it's vacant, and we keep all of those photos. So anytime we have an occupied unit that we're putting back up for rent, we would opt to use the vacant photos most of the time. Some tenants do keep it really, really nice. So what we'll do is go in and do an inspection maybe a couple weeks after they give notice just to check and see. We want to see the condition for another reason. But also we're looking to see whether, it's going to be okay to show. Try and talk to the tenant if it's not. But as far as posting pictures, a lot of times it's better when it's empty because we also don't necessarily want to have someone's personal things in photos, right?
No doubt, yeah.
Right, yeah, and it's not like when they're selling and you can tell them to declutter and depersonalize and, it's not really the same. So if we have photos from when it's empty, then we use them and post them instead. So if people have a vacant property, when you first buy it, if you've done renovations, strongly encourage getting really, really nice photos done or take them yourself and save them because those are always your best bet for advertising.
We're going to shift gears a little bit, Patrice. Have you seen any challenges as of yet with regards to the Ward 1 and 2 pilot project?
Yes.
So, oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, pause. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, the process is cumbersome to start, and we're starting to get now some of the inspections for people that have applied. So that last step is to have the inspections. And the frustrating part is, we've done everything that's on the checklist. We've had all the inspections. We've paid for the reports. And then when the city comes there and the fire department, we're having a laundry list of things that we have to do before they'll issue that license. So things that aren't on that checklist either, like we're checking everything in the unit and we're submitting that checklist, but then they come and they say, dear Mr. Landlord, you now have to repair and replace half of your fence in your backyard, or you have to remove a shed, or you have to do, right? Like they're looking at things that to me weren't part of the licensing, right? And it's more of a whole exterior, right? And yes, the city has bylaws about that, and that's what they're coming and saying you have to do it as per this bylaw. It's just frustrating for landlords because they've already spent, in one case, thousands of dollars because they have 4 units, thousands of dollars just to get to this point, and now they're being told they have to have a whole other very expensive.
What many people are going to say, though, Patrice, is they're landlords, they're millionaires, they got lots of money.
Yeah, no, they're not, and and they're struggling too, right? So they're trying to provide these nice places for people to live. They've done these beautiful renos, and they're coming in now. And in one case, there's a 4-plex, and the city doesn't like the in-ceiling heating, which would be radiant heating. And that building's been like that probably obviously since it's been built. And they deemed it that type of heating is now no longer safe. So they're ordering him to remove that heating and somehow now provide an alternate source of heating. So he has no ductwork. He can't put in furnaces. He's going to have to either put in baseboard heaters, which there's not enough room on his panels for, or
so he has to upgrade the panels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So it's a very, very, very expensive undertaking now. And the order was written that they had to be done immediately. We had to disable those thermostats. So
what are you seeing if the city goes in and inspects a basement unit, for example, and it's not legal? What happens at that point? What happens with that tenant? What happens with everything?
So the city would issue an order that unit has to be demolished if it's really unsafe and not going to comply. The order would be to demolish the rental unit. Now that means for us, we have to serve the tenant a notice. Gives them 120 days. Like the city can't do anything about the eviction part, but we are obligated now to provide that vacant so that we can either do the renovations or, in one case, demolish it. And then once that's ordered, the city's going to continue to follow up. We have to do our part to get the tenant basically evicted, unfortunately. But then the city will come back and do an inspection, make sure. And when they say demolish, they make you rip out your kitchen, rip out your plumbing. So basically, you can't reoccupy it.
And how how does that implicate the owner? With respect to the Residential Tenancies Act?
Yeah, there is an application, there's a form that we do use with N13 when there is an order to demolish. So there is a way to do it and end the tenancy. However, some of these tenants that live in those units have been there forever. Right? So, it's a 120-day notice to start with, but if they don't leave on their own, where are they going to go, right?
Yeah, because oftentimes they're in there paying $500, $600 a month. Now they're going to have to pay $1,500. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Where do they go?
Easily $1,500.
Yeah. So now we have to, if they don't leave, we have to go through the whole hearing, which again, the onus and the cost is on the landlord, right? Yeah. They have to pay a paralegal. We have to pay the filing fees. We have to pay the compensation to the tenant.
Well, see, and in some cases, and I get what the city's doing, because they want, if the unit's not safe, not deemed safe, okay, great. My concern at this point is where are all those tenants going to go?
Yes.
That's right.
Because there's already a shortage. And like you said, they were paying $500-600 a month in that basement unit. Now they're going to have to go pay twice as much or 3 times as much somewhere else, which they can't afford. Nope. So this is going to cause, the timing of this whole thing is just extremely poor.
Chain reaction that is not going to be fun.
In the middle of a housing crisis. Yeah, that's my only concern.
Yeah. And it's true. I completely agree and understand there are some that are unsafe and shouldn't be occupied, but there's no plan as to what to do with the people that are ultimately affected, right? So the owner's not going to have a basement unit anymore. Okay, and the expense of getting that tenant out and demoing, it's unfortunate, but the real ultimate person that pays the price is that tenant who's now just, has to relocate. And it's just this helpless situation because there's absolutely nowhere for them to go. You couldn't even rent a room for that price, let alone the little apartment.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very hard. And I think that translates to the city and the pressure on the city, people that are on ODSP, right? There's this ripple effect, but there's no answers. It's just everybody has the situation and the trouble. So it's it's a scary time. Like it's seeing some of these orders that are coming back, right? And then once it's a city order, like there's nothing, right? It's written. There's nothing, you can't get away from it. You have to do it. In a sale, it's going to translate in a sale. Like, so owners are trying, like, what do I do? Like, I said, they're going to see it. Like when you sell that fourplex, they're going to see the city order on it. They're going to have to do it, right? Yeah. So it's very, very frustrating. And landlords are really taken aback. Like when we think we've done everything and we're like, okay, we're good, everything's done, we have ESA sign off, everything, right? They've provided everything willingly because up till now it's not even being enforced, right? And then we get these orders back about fixing a fence and tearing down sheds, and in the case of the heating system, completely blindsided. We have no idea.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, this could be a whole hour show. So, we're out of time, unfortunately. My goodness. But listen, if anyone has questions, how do they reach out to the team at Goldmar?
They can call the office, 519-252-5010, or reach out online, info@goldmar.ca.
Patrice, thanks as always, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Thanks. It's Patrice Surette, owner of Goldmar Property Management. And, scary times. Scary times. So listen, we're going to shift a little bit here. We're going to come back and talk about millennials in real estate. But before we go to break, if you want a chance to win a $50 gift card for the Richmond Popcorn Company, let's do it the old-fashioned way. You want to be caller number 8 right now. Caller number 8 in studio, 519-792-2559. 519-792-2559. Caller number 8 gets a gift card for the Richmond Popcorn Company. Lots more to come right after this on AM800.